Hey Dorks, how you doing? We are here
Oh.
to give our movie review
Wait,
of...
we have upside down dog now. This is Lady, and Lady likes to stand on her head. Remind you of a Disney character?
She does stand on her head quite a bit.
This is not what this was supposed to be about.
Trying to give a movie review here.
Lady, she's digging to China.
Okay. So we'll try and do this. Maybe she'll stop. Okay, so this is supposed to be our movie review of Escape from Tomorrow.
It's not a family movie, not for kids.
Yeah, definitely not for younger viewers. There's a lot of adult content within the movie. It is a movie about Disney World.
Not made from Disney.
Yes, it is not a Disney movie. It is a guerrilla-style movie filmed in Disney World.
And Disneyland.
And Disneyland.
We, being extreme dorks, watch everything Disney. And so we have been waiting actually a long time for it to come out. I didn't think that we would ever get to see it.
Yeah, there was a lot of discussion in the beginning. If Disney would sue them, how could they do this? And Disney's not going to let them do it. And would it ever be distributed at all? And of course, after it premiered at the Sundance Film Festival, basically Disney and their lawyers, I'm sure, had many conversations. And not to make this vlog too long, we won't get into it, but they decided that they weren't going to touch this for many reasons. And they were able to get it distributed. And it is available streaming on Netflix. Depending on how dorky you are, it's just fun to be able to try and look in the background and see where they are.
I looked for us.
And
couldn't find us.
Yeah. Some people who might not even realize they're in it are probably in it because they were just randomly filming. And I think that's one of the coolest things about this. Most viewers at home, other than us Disney dorks and fanatics, probably would not be able to tell the difference, but it's of course interesting for us to be able to examine some of the differences and to be able to notice which park they're filming in at which time. They did do a little bit of green screening as well, which I think they probably needed to be able to tell the story. They composited some backgrounds from the different parks. It's a pretty cool movie, I think. What did you think?
I thought it was creepy.
It is a little weird. The plot goes a little strange. We'll get to some of the plot in a minute. Lady's messing with our light again. I think cinematography, speaking of that first, is really a beautiful film. Some of the things that they were able to do. The entire thing was shot on a Canon 5D, as well as iPhones. So they had hidden cameras, and they were able to go into the parks to shoot this. And some of the shots that they got, I think, are truly amazing. I enjoyed the shots, as well as the fact that they made it black and white, and this monochromatic feel, I think, really added something different and unique to it, whereas we're typically used to seeing Disney in a... drop my phone there.
And he showed the ceiling.
And typically Disney's in all of its vibrant colors and everything, and we get to see it in this drab black and white, which I liked a lot. So there's a few themes here in the movie, one of them being obviously imagination throughout the entire film. That's a theme. And then also, I think, kind of journey into madness, as well as the breakdown of family, and specifically this guy's family, who we'll talk about. The main character's name is Jim, and it starts off with him getting some really bad news. He apparently got fired.
While waking up at the Contemporary.
Yeah, so that's a horrible bit of news to get. You might have wanted to be staying at a value resort after getting that type of news. But anyway, his day starts off really bad, and then he's approached by his wife, who right off the bat starts to seem a bit of a nag, and he's having a bad day, and he's just hoping that he can have one last good day in Disney to end things off with before they have to go back to reality. Anyway, they make it to the parks. Things are already not going their way. They start hallucinating, or at least he does in the beginning. We see some people coughing, so we know that some sort of infection is kind of starting to go around, which we later find out is called cat flu, which is possibly part of his imagination as well, or not, unknown. Later in the movie, he's separated from his wife, and he ends up getting kidnapped by some lady, and a lot of strange stuff happens there. You have to watch the movie to find out about most of this. We won't go into all of it, but some crazy stuff goes on there. He finally gets out of there, and then he's randomly following around two young girls around the park, which in and of itself is completely weird. But by the end of it, he ends up losing his daughter, frantically searching for her, at which point he's kidnapped and held underneath Spaceship Earth. Ladies back. Underneath Spaceship Earth, which is actually the scene that we have it paused on right here. It's the sponsor of the ride, Spaceship Earth.
They're in Basement 1.
Yeah, they call this place Basement 1. I'm not sure if you can see that or not.
That's Jim.
But that's Jim with a apparent Epcot ball on his head. And they're delving into his imagination. They say even Disney doesn't know about this place. It's run by the ride sponsor. And it just kind of goes into a little bit about what might be sinister plots by Disney. And what might Disney's actual intentions truly be. And there's a few clips in there which give reference to the fact his other self that I'll mention at the end, but they say his real self. So anyway, we get to he gets to escape from here. He runs to apparently the same woman who kidnapped him earlier has now kidnapped his daughter, and he gets her back. She's laying in a bed of rose petals or something. She looks a bit like Sleeping Beauty. I'm not sure if it's an homage to her or not, but it kind of reminds me of that. And he rescues her, gets her back to the hotel room where his wife and son are fast asleep, and everything seems normal and good. And then in the middle of the night, the cat flu begins to get the best of him.
Or the worst.
Yeah, or the worst of him. So he's kind of hacking up some hairballs and some other gross stuff. And at one point or another, his son comes in and sees him, and he's begging for help. And his son, apparently very upset from earlier in the day when he was not allowed to ride Buzz Lightyear, he, instead of helping him, he just kind of shuts the door.
Take your kids on the rides they want to ride. Yes,
this is a few lessons learned in this movie. Take your kids on the rides they want, because you never know when you might need their help. That being said, he does shut the door and he leaves, and his wife finds him, unfortunately dead, in the morning in the bathroom, and with a huge grin plastered on his face that won't go away. And I'm assuming that if you were to die in the happiest place on earth, that you would probably die with a smile on your face. So this part makes sense to me.
Cat flu or not.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, after that, Disney's cleaning crew comes in, kind of like in Monsters, Inc.
2319.
Yeah, there's an emergency cleanup. They come in. They start dealing with the cleanup issues, and at the same time, there's this guy who apparently has the ability to implant memories, and goes to the little boy and implants the memory of him having ridden Buzz Lightyear so that he'll be happy. I know you disagree with that.
I think he just read his mind to see maybe why he didn't help his dad while he was having a sad time, and gave him a Buzz Lightyear pin.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that he implanted the memory, but that doesn't really matter that much. None of the movie made sense one way or the other.
He got a pin!
He got a pin out of the deal, so he was happy, and he got to move on with his life, because that's all that matters, is getting pins. And then the cleanup crew packs up Jim on a stretcher, puts him in a van, and takes off. And at that same moment, you see Jim again arriving, this time with a younger, less naggy wife. The son's not there, and he just has a daughter with him. He's wearing a fedora, so he seems like now he's a cool guy, kind of living the life that he wished that he had lived throughout the movie. This, I believe, kind of relates back to some of the opening scenes where we see Jim standing on his balcony at the Contemporary, and you see a van pull up, which could quite possibly be this same image of Jim. So it could be just a repeating circle.
Escape from tomorrow.
Either way, yeah, he appears to not be able to escape from tomorrow. So I guess I enjoyed the movie for what it was. I don't know that 90 minutes was the right amount of time to watch Jim. I don't know that he was quite that interesting, but I do think that there's a lot of good qualities about it. Definitely some things that they could have improved, but it still was super cool that they were able to do something like this in the parks.
And that's why I wanted to watch it, because it was shot in the parks.
So that's pretty much our plot synopsis as well as movie review. And there's that creepy boy, if you can see him one last time. So
He just wanted to ride Buzz. It doesn't make him creepy.
yeah.
Creepy.
So anyway, hope you enjoyed our review, and this is it's been fun talking with you, and we will see you again in the future. So stay Disney.
Stay Disney.
All right, bye guys.